Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. If you have never been to an Indian wedding, you are not living. It is days of dancing and joy and family and food and love, and those weddings are the most amazing weddings you can encounter. They just are. And so I'm sorry if you've never been to one. I really am. Anyway, I've been to several, and I've been to several of my nieces and nephews' weddings because they are my nieces and nephews. And so when Rob and Priyanka got married, I was very grateful to be able to go to their wedding. And I had, prior to their wedding, I had broken both feet. But I was determined that I was going to go to that wedding. So one of the things I knew I had to do was sit still the entire time that was required for healing, especially since Rob was marrying a foot surgeon. And they're like, yeah, sit down. And so I had to stay in. My niece Latoya made sure I didn't go anywhere. My surgeon was like, yeah, you're like an inch away, like this far away from needing surgery and metal in your feet. And in my mind, metal in my feet meant that I couldn't go through pre-check. So at the airport, you have to go through the other scanner. So I was like, okay, this is not going to happen. Plus, I knew that wedding was coming. So I stayed in place, and when it was time for the wedding, I was able to get up and go. But I had been in the house for months, not able to walk or go anywhere or do anything. So when it was time to go to that wedding, I was elated and overjoyed and so happy to get to go. So it was the first time in a while I had been on a plane and all of that. And so, I'm kind of like forgetting that I haven't been up and about and moving and going. So I get there and I get to the wedding. And the first night, everybody's dancing and there's so much joy. And it's like, whoa, this is amazing. The next night, same things. Like, whoa, it's amazing. Days and days of joy and dancing. And so we were dancing, and we're dancing in the groom, bringing the groom in. And so we're dancing. And, like... we're going around the building dancing, and I'm like wondering, how in the world are these elders? I've been watching these elders dancing, and they have not stopped. They closed the party down. How are they dancing? So I looked to Rob's sister, Monica, and I said, Monica, how are these elders dancing so much and like really into it all night, all day? How are they doing it? And she smiled the most beautiful smile, because she is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And she looked at me and said, they have filled their hearts with love. Their hearts are so full of love for Rob and Priyanka that it keeps them going. And I thought, this is the craziest. What kind of hoodoo is she talking? I'm going to try it. So I closed my eyes and I filled my heart with love. And suddenly, this burst of energy came out of nowhere. And I was like, yes! And I felt so... it was a feeling of complete joy for this new love that was coming to bless everyone else, because they had found each other, and therefore two families had now connected and would be stronger and last longer because of the love of these two young people. And all of a sudden I could see into the beyond, and my body was just this thing that I was in, and these 2 feet that were barely on the men was on the men, didn't even belong to me. And the feeling that I had of connectedness to everything and everyone there was amazing. And I danced all around that place, and then we went to the wedding, and then that night we danced some more. And now whenever I feel that feeling of being tired or my body not wanting to do what I really wanted to do, I remember her words, and I infuse my heart with love. I fill it with love for my children and for my neighbors and for my family and my extended family. And suddenly, I am not my body. I am the spirit that dwells within. I love you. Fill your hearts with love.